The Saucony Endorphin Speed 5 is here, and in this video I'm going to be telling you what's new on version 5, and we're also going to be discussing whether this is still a very good running shoe for the everyday runner. Okay guys, so how this video is going to work, we're going to break down what's new on here. We're going to have a look versus version 4. I'm going to tell you how I found it in this sort of initial review, let's call it. I'm going to tell you things I like, things I don't like. I'm also going to tell you how you can save some money on this. And then we're going to wrap it all up at the end. And like I said, I'll answer that question. Is this shoe still the sort of go-to running shoe for the everyday runner? Okay, so before we get into the stats and features, let's do the disclaimer. And thanks very much for watching it. I know it's a pain, but we do need to do it. Right, let's roll on with stats and features. So the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5 is retailing at £180 at sportshoes.com, and I'm going to tell you how you can save a little bit of money on that in a bit. We feature again Power Run PB in the midsole on this shoe. That hasn't changed. Also still got the speed roll technology in here. We've maintained the same stack heights. We've got 36 millimeters in the heel down to 28, and that's an 8mm drop. We've got a new lovely upper on the shoe. They have tweaked the design. In particular, I've noticed on the nylon plate that runs through the shoe, it doesn't look like it's winged on the lateral side. They've also carved out a little bit on the bottom of the shoe. I'll show you that as well. We've still got XT900 rubber coverage on the outsole, which is good news. This shoe is weighing 258 grams in my UK 9.5. And is basically the same weight pretty much as the previous version. We've got some slight adjustments to the midsole as well. There's a little bit of flaring on the medial side, but other than that, there's nothing major changed here. Let's take a closer look. So here's the new upper, here's the old upper, here's the new rubber coverage on the outsole, and here's the old rubber coverage on the outsole. Laces and lockdown is pretty much identical. The plate seems to have changed colour. Now here's the plate on the medial side, and you'll see it's missing here. Version 4 on the medial side, we have it here, but we also have it sticking out here. Version 5, version 4. So that looks a little bit different. To me, it seems wider. Let me know what you think, but I haven't measured it or anything, but it just seems and feels like a wider, more stable platform here. Definitely in the heel, for example. See how much wider that is? You've got that slight change in the cutout on the bottom. We've now got Saucony written on the inside, and that's probably all the interesting bits. Okay, so let's move on to the ride. Actually, before I do move on to that, the first time I put these on, it was like putting on an old friend. I do love the feel of a speed shoe. It feels, I don't know, yeah, just like an old friend. It's always comfortable. You know what you're going to get. It just fits my foot shape really well. It's just like, yeah, it's just like putting on an old pair of slippers. But now let's talk about the ride. So this shoe features the Power Run PB, which is a good thing. It's a fast yet sort of stable-ish ride. It's not overly soft. They've just got the right blend of sort of softness and firmness and responsiveness. It always works very well in this shoe. You've got a real nice bit of flex with this shoe because it's got this nylon plate in here, and that really does help the ride. It's a lot more springy off the toe. Now that flex works well with the PB foam and the nylon plate that's running throughout the shoe. We've got this slightly wider heel section which adds to the stability of the shoe. Now I'm not in any shape or form saying this is a stability shoe, okay? And even saying it's inherently stable is a bit of a stretch. But what I'm saying to you is it's more forgiving than some of the other super shoes, super trainers that's out there. The PB foam in here, like I said to you, it's responsive, but it's not mushy or like overly soft, and that's a good thing. Now the speed roll technology, which is that sort of heel to toe help or assistance, is always greatly received when I'm running in this shoe. I really like that in the shoe. It's not, again, overly aggressive, but because you've got the nylon plate in there, you get that spring. Working with the PB foam, the whole ride is really, really enjoyable. The shoe feels nice and lightweight on foot. It's 260 grams, 258, I think, in my UK 9.5, but it feels nice and light on foot. It doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. And that also adds to the ride, the performance of the shoe. You don't feel like you're dragging along a brick. Now, in terms of the ride versus the previous version, I really enjoyed this. Now, I know some people didn't. They go back to version 3 and the previous versions, which they really, really loved. But I really liked version 4. For me, it was a versatile shoe. shoe, like the Speeds beforehand, it's a shoe that can do everything. Now, I appreciate that it was a different feeling to version 3, but for me, I really quite liked it. But I liked it because of the versatility that it offers people, and that's for me the sort of key winning point of the Speed shoe from Saucony, is the fact that it's so damn versatile. You can just buy this shoe or this shoe and do everything in it, and I think that's the point of this shoe, and it does it so well. But yeah, in terms of the rides don't feel that much different to me. What I would say, it just feels a little bit more springy off the toe. It definitely feels a little bit, yeah, this is definitely a little bit more rigid off the toe. So yeah, that's noticeable. And that sort of added stability in the heel as well. Again, I never collapsed or anything like that in that shoe, but it is noticeable how much more sort of stable feeling it is in the heel versus that version. So this may work for some of those people who couldn't run in these shoes because of pronation issues. Maybe you rolled out or something like that. This is a shoe that may actually start to work for you now. So that's also good news. So yes, overall, the ride versus the previous version, I actually think I prefer these because it's still that sort of more daily trainer focused super trainer. It's probably the most, I would say, daily trainer focused super trainer that's out there. Yes, you've got the Boston 13, and the Boston 13 is excellent, but I feel like the Boston 13 really works in long runs with marathon goal pace and into those harder, higher effort sessions. You've obviously got the Zoomfly 6 as well, which is a much more, I'd say, race day focused shoe. That's more of a shoe that can do your tempo workouts and that sort of stuff very well. And like I say, hit race day absolutely on point. But again, that's slightly limited, slightly, where this again can mop up a little bit more of the stuff that the Zoomfly 6 can't do as well. So this is a shoe I would say that sort of sits in between the Zoomfly 6 and the Boston 13. This can mop up pretty much everything, where the Boston's a little bit more, let's say, marathon focused, and the Zoomfly 6 is more sort of race day focused. Any of that making any sense? And that's my point with this shoe. It is so damn versatile. But anyway, before we get onto the likes and dislikes, let's try and save you some money. So this shoe you can pick up at sportshoes.com, and it's on there for £180. But if you're a Fordy Runs Running Club affiliated member, you can join for about 20 odd pounds, and there's loads of other benefits. But one of the benefits is you can get 15% off at sportshoes.com. So that significantly reduces the price of this shoe. So that's well worth doing. Get over to fordyruns.com, join as an affiliated running club member. For example, one of the benefits, they've just announced the London Marathon ballots. The club has a London Marathon ballot itself. So again, that's another reason to join the club as an affiliated member. Not only are you going to get 15% off of these shoes, then you get to go into the ballot. We've got loads of other great things we do as a club. But yes, if you're looking to buy running shoes, it's a brilliant reason to join as an affiliated running club member. Plug done, let's move on. Things I like. I like the new upper. I like that it's wider. I like the comfort. I like the width in the heel. I like the flex. I like the way it looks. I like the fact that they brought these out in the mutant colorway. I like speed roll technology, and I love the versatility. Dislikes. The only dislike I've got is that if you're not a running club member of Fordy Runs, it is quite expensive at £180. So I'm not going to try and sell you that again, but it is rather expensive. If you can't get a discount code or something like that, £180 is quite expensive. But that's really the only dislike that I could actually think of. Because as you might have guessed, I like this shoe. But I do like the Endorphin shoes in general, except for the Endorphin trainer. I don't know what happened there. The Endorphin Pro's a great shoe, and this carries on from where this left off. So let's try and quickly wrap this up. So look, this is an initial feedback. We'll do a load more miles in this shoe, and then we'll come back and let you know how we've been getting on with it. I'll probably do a video comparing this versus this in a little bit more detail. I'll also probably do a video comparing this with some of its closest rivals. I'm also thinking Neo Vista, although the stack height's like totally different. But like the Neo Vista, Boston, Zoomfly 6, they're well under £150 if you think about it. So that's worth probably doing a video on. But anyway, look, I like the Speed. I like the Speed maybe for different reasons than some of you guys. I like it because it's versatile. I like it that you guys can buy one shoe and do everything in it. I like the fact that you can take this into race day. For example, if you're doing your first half marathon in the autumn, this would be a brilliant shoe to train and then race in. For me, that's the key selling point with the Speed. And I think, you know, the first one or two versions, yeah, they were a little bit more tuned up, they were a little bit more racy. And as time has gone on, the shoe has definitely become a little bit more, well, more daily trainer focused. But I personally don't think that's a bad thing. And I appreciate some of you are going to disagree with that. But for me, I think the Speed is a perfect shoe for somebody who's looking to buy one shoe and do everything in it. It's not got a carbon plate in it, so it's not overly stiff or anything like that. You do have some flex in here, but at the same time, it's nice and stable. It is comfortable. It is pretty durable. It locks down well. I've never had any trouble with like heat spots or rubbing or anything in the Speed shoes. They've always fitted really well. And you can do all your different workouts in it. So again, I think Saucony have done a very good job with the Speed 5. I think it's not going to please everybody, which I appreciate. But as I said to you, I look at the Speed shoe as a versatile daily trainer into race day for the everyday runner. That real traditional super trainer that can do everything. And the Endorphin Speed ticks that box well. Okay team, that's it for me. Let me know in the comments if you picked up the Speed 5. Like I said, it is on sale at sportshoes.com, but make sure you join as a Fordy Runs Running Club member and get some money off of that. Don't forget to subscribe. I know some of you have forgotten we're trying to get to 22 million subscribers. We haven't mentioned that in a while, but I haven't forgotten. And yes, I'm looking at you. You haven't hit that subscribe button. But other than that, team, don't forget to join me on a live stream on a Monday at 8 o'clock, and I shall catch you all later.